Good morning.
Good morning. Good. We talked to Dorian yesterday, and he seemed to be very relaxed, poised, confident, and self-assured. Seems like he's come a long way in the growth department since he first stepped foot on campus. What have you seen in him as far as his growth and where he is now?
I think he's been a great leader in this offseason. We have a couple guys that have been here for a while. Blaylock, Mo, Sam Marazzo, Dorian specifically, that have done a great job of kind of leading the younger guys through this offseason. They had a tremendous summer working with Coach Barton on the strength and conditioning program. And he was on point yesterday. He was as good at first practice. But I think it's kind of to be expected. He was a fifth-year kid coming back that's got a ton of reps. And he's gotten better. He's always been that type of guy. The more reps he gets, the better he gets. And he's hands-on. We're excited about what this season is.
Can you provide any status updates on Damian Sellers and Mike Martinez?
Yeah, they're unavailable right now.
What about Selma?
Unavailable right now.
Is DeLon Hurt still part of the program?
No, DeLon is not. DeLon is graduating.
He's graduating. Is John Gaines back with his family right now? I know that his mom tweeted out or
John will be here tonight.
He'll be here today.
And then one more, Ollie Cajo,
He's here.
available.
Unavailable for practice.
What's your what's kind of the COVID policy now for this season for the guys? You know,
From what we learned at league meetings, it's up to the individual counties and schools. So there's not, from my understanding, there's not a league protocol set down from the Pac-12, but it's whatever LA County and UCLA determines it. So.
Is it similar to what it was last year for you guys? Speaking about UCLA,
I think we're right around the same thing.
We saw Nicholas Barmiro doing some punting in the spring. Is that something you'd consider doing, having a guy do double duty?
We're looking for the best kickoff guy. We're looking for the best field goal guy. We're looking for the best punter. So the versatility of Nick is one of his strengths. He did a great job punting for us in the spring. So we got a couple other legs out there, and we're just obviously in day 2. So today's the first day of punt. We did kickoff yesterday, so he'll get every opportunity to compete for that starting job. But I thought we were all impressed with what he did during spring.
Does that present unique challenges doing both?
It does, but it just depends on the individual. There are some guys that can handle it and do it. Nick is certainly one of them. He did a good job kicking during the spring. He did a good job punting during the spring. So we'll see how that whole competition. We have 4 or 5 kickers and punters in camp, and everybody will get opportunities because of how we train. So, but we're excited about Nick as a punter. He would have punted for us in our bowl game last year, and then he continued working through the whole off season. Did a really nice job last year.
How does having an experienced roster, how does that help you guys with preseason? Because of bringing people else?
It's just they've been there, done that, so they can explain to the younger kids not only how we're doing things, but why we're doing things. And we do have a veteran leadership group that a lot of them have been here 5. Some guys like Mawassim have been here 6 years. I think we all went through a unique thing with COVID, but the Bo Calverts of the world and the Dorians and the Gainesies and the Marazzas and those guys that have been around have really done a good job of being mentors to the younger guys in the program.
you've had 2 players over the last couple months who very publicly revealed they were going through some mental health challenges. What kind of system have you put in place to kind of help identify people who are struggling and support them when they're having those challenges?
Yeah, our athletic department's done a great job with professional support. That's not something that I think the coaches or the administrators, that's something you have to get the professionals involved in that. I think we have a great CAPS program here on campus that does a lot of work there, but all of those referrals go through Dr. Goldman and Dr. McAllister to our medical team, and then they take over in those situations.
We can't, our coaches kind of like first line of response, and sometimes,
we are, but if we identify issues or we see anything that's out of the ordinary with a young man, then we recommend them to them. We turn it over to the medical staff and the medical staff.
What about, let's talk about NIL for a second. Ryan Day said he needed $13 million for his program. Greg Schiano went out and talked to boosters and said we gotta step up so we don't lose guys to other teams in the transfer portal. Where would you say UCLA's NIL football is right now? What can you do to support it?
Well, we can just support it, but we can't be out soliciting donations to give to players. I think people have kind of convoluted the whole rule of name, image, and likeness. Is the student athletes can make money off of their name, image, and likeness, but coaches can't be involved in brokering deals for student athletes. This is not pay for play. This is not recruiting inducements. So our school has set up the Westwood Exchange, and the businesses go through the Westwood Exchange, and that's all signed off by our Compass, which is our compliance office that we use. We partnered with a group Influencer. I think we have over 140 businesses that have gone through the Westwood Exchange to provide opportunities for our student athletes. So I think our guys are doing a really good job. The thing is with it, it's the guys who want to do it. Not everybody wants to be involved in it. Not everybody wants to take the time, because you have to show work. This is not a quid pro quo. You have to do work. So if you want to make money in name, image, and likeness, you have to be willing to go do the work that you have to do in name, image, and likeness. People just can't pay you X amount of dollars to do nothing. I think maybe at some other places that happens, but at this place it doesn't. So I think what our athletic department has done with the Westwood Exchange has been really beneficial to us.
What do you? It's early, like you said, but what have you seen from some of the newer offensive linemen, like Raekwon O'Neal?
He looked good running around at helmet yesterday. The big thing for the offensive and defensive linemen is these first couple of days when we're not in full pads, they really have to cooperate with each other. So he's got really good football acumen. He's a smart kid when it comes to football. He looks like he's got a good movement skill with him. But yesterday was the first time that we had an opportunity to ever be on the field with him. So that's going to be an ongoing deal with all of those guys. But I was impressed with kind of his retention. I was impressed with his athleticism. But we really don't have enough information to make any really good hard decisions on it.
Just one follow-up on NIL, if I could. I mean, how big of a thing is it in recruiting and retaining players?
Well, you shouldn't have to do it in retaining players, because schools can't recruit people off the roster. So that would be an NCAA violation if that would be occurring. So I think if the enforcement arm of the NCAA catches up to the rules of the NCAA, I think we'll be in a very good situation.
With Leatu Latu, is he fully available?
He's fully available. Yeah, he's cleared to go full go in practice.
Where do you
see his full go yesterday?
With his size, where do you see him fitting in? What is his kind of versatility?
He's got a lot of versatility. He's got a lot of athleticism. Again, similar to the question about the offensive lineman, we haven't been in full pads with him, but he's obviously a tall, long, athletic. He's big. He's 6'5", he's 275 pounds, but he can really run. So right now he's playing outside linebacker for us. He's done a nice job in the first training session that we had yesterday, but I think he could play in a lot of different spots with his size and athleticism.
You got, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're somewhere in the 70s with your number of scholarships players. How did you kind of get there, and how does that impact things going into the season?
It doesn't. We'll be at 85 by the end of camp, so we're a lot higher than that.
How will you get there?
What do you mean?
Well, unless I'm missing, are you going to give out some scholarships, or how are you going to get
No,
there?
we don't give out anything. Kids will earn opportunities for them. There's one or two more kids that can earn opportunities to get a full scholarship. So, but we're in the 80s right now, so we don't have any.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Hey,
Coach.
Chip.
All right. You good, Brendan?
Yes, sir.
Did you get to go on the boat ride earlier this week?
Oh, yes, sir. That was pretty fun. Darren took care of the guys, make sure we had one last time to all be together and bond before we started camp, and really had to lock in.
What was your favorite part of that?
Probably we saw some dolphins. It was a bunch of big pod of dolphins we got to see. Just a good time to relax and be with everybody.
Is that just another example of kind of how NIL can kind of change the whole experience for everybody? Because, he used some NIL money to take that trip with you guys.
Oh, absolutely. It just creates more opportunities if the guys want to get out together as a whole group. It's hard to get out as a unit together, so that was a special moment.
You've had some success in NIL. You got a Mercedes-Benz deal, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you've been one of the more high-profile people in that. Can you talk about your experience with NIL and how much you've enjoyed it, how it's kind of gone for you?
Awesome. So I loved it. It's been a spectacular experience, and I encourage everybody to really dive into it, do your research, because there's many benefits to it. So if you just do your research, make sure you're hopping into the right deals, get somebody to look at everything. It could be real special.
How many deals have you got?
I would say, don't have an exact number, roughly somewhere around 10.
And how much has the Westwood Exchange been helpful in getting you connected with deals?
Oh yeah, so I just set that up. So right now I'm just focused on football. I haven't really looked into that right now, but I just signed up.
How was your chemistry with Dorian?
Oh, it's great. This whole off season in the summer, just working together, make sure we get everything down, the timing down. So when we come out here now, it's go time. We're ready to roll now, so we have real good chemistry.
Have you noticed him being more of a vocal leader so far, teaching the young guys or anything like that?
Oh yeah, so he was a great leader for us last year too, but he just stepped it up to a whole nother notch. Everybody notices coming out here, hit up all the freshman guys, let them know, hey, if you guys have any questions, here's my number. We could do film sessions outside of here if you need it.
With losing Greg Dulcich and Kyle Phillips, has that kind of forced you and maybe some of the other guys to be that new leader this year?
Yeah, just really step up and really be a leader to the younger guys, because those guys come in fresh plate, not really knowing much, so they look up to you guys to see how things are supposed to be. So, I mean, we're prepared for it and we're ready.
How are you working with the younger guys like Jaden and Braden like that? How do you think they look so far, and how are you kind of communicating with them and leading them?
Well, they look good right now. I've really been telling them just ask questions, because like I said, you don't want to come out here and not know. So those guys have been great at being vocal if they don't know something and trying to figure out how to do it.
What's it like having an older team and being able to kind of work with them this preseason, getting ready for the season?
It's great having an older team, but it's even better seeing everybody step it up a notch. And everybody in the whole offseason, we vowed to raise the standard. So everybody came with a whole new level of energy, focus, and attention to detail to get ready for the season.
Gaines was talking at Pac-12 Media Day about just like what is this offense capable of, and he said points. I mean, it feels like that's true, right? I mean, you guys have fifth-year quarterback, got Zach, got a bunch of experience at receiver. I mean, do you guys feel like if everything clicks, it could be kind of unstoppable?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. Like I said, we have a lot of leadership in the room now. The whole team really, we raised the standard up, so everybody's just ready to go out there and play now. We worked all summer for this, grinding hard, and it's time to display it on the field.
A little bit of a shift in defense. Have you seen anything? What stands out from you? And are there any defenders that are giving you trouble?
Right now, I would say vocal. Everybody's being real vocal, having a lot of energy flying around. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna put on for game day.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Boat ride earlier this week.
I did. That was a good time.
What was your favorite part of that?
Dolphins. And it was really, really cool, actually. We kind of chased a pack of dolphins around for 10, 15 minutes. I'd never been that close to a dolphin, so that was cool for me. I know everybody had their phones out and was filming, so it was a good time for everybody. But yeah, it was good overall. Awesome for Dorian to do that. I think it was great for us as a group, kind of coming into camp to kind of reset ourselves as an offense before rolling into this thing. But yeah, I mean, it was a great time. Obviously, appreciate Dorian for doing that, and that's why he is who he is. That's why he's the leader of this offense and this team, and it kind of just shows you why he's in that position too.
Is that kind of one example of how NIL can kind of change the experience for college athletes? I mean, you guys got to have this amazing boat ride as a result of that, basically.
Yeah. Obviously, I couldn't tell you how it was 5-10 years ago, but I'd imagine it's a little different. Just in that aspect, I don't know if guys were going out on boats, 2 days before camp, just having a good time as a group on money that was, basically football or athletic driven. Personally, I don't have a lot of experience with all that. I got to make some more plays and do a goal before that happens. But again, not any big ones, not any deals, just some clothing brands on the side, just far. It's here. I also think it was tough because it was the first year, not last year. It's not the first year this whole thing got rolling. So there wasn't a ton of opportunities, like the Westwood Exchange, some of the UCLA stuff. I'm sure it's going to back and burn. But as we move along and get deeper into it, a lot of skill set.
Is it kind of a big talking point at Auburn?
Not really. I mean, there's some playful jabs here and there, some jokes getting thrown around. Like some money for something for us or something like that. But nothing real. It's don't create a vibe down there in the locker room. So that's a positive. I had a question about this whole thing kind of happened, but it's cool to see that it doesn't serious.
You've only had spring and 2 practices, but what are your thoughts on the offense right now? The explosiveness, the schemes, how everybody, how the chemistry is?
Yeah, I love it. I think you can see that this group has been together for a while. Dorian and Zach and some of the guys up front, and kind of how they, work together, even with Cam and Kaz and some of those guys. It's cool to kind of step in and be a part of that chemistry with them. It's been playing together for 2-3 years. 4 or 5 if you're Dorian and some of those guys up front. But we're explosive. I think Coach Kelly does a great job of putting guys in positions where they can make big chunk plays. And then obviously hand the ball to 24. You never know what's going to happen. So we got to make sure we get that guy the rock, and then on the perimeter we're blocking our tails off for him. But it's cool to be in an offense where any down and distance you can take it to the house, which we all know, we're all aware of. But it's good to be a part of that system.
As kind of the newcomer to the offense, how has your on-field chemistry with Dorian been so far?
I think it's been good. For me, it feels great. I give all the credit in the world to him and who he is and the type of player he is. I came in and he immediately took me kind of under his wing, so to speak, and showed me the ropes, scheme, and some of that stuff. Took me through the playbook. Some of the, Coach Kelly's offense can be daunting at times, and so he always says, you have questions, text me, call me, whatever. I take full advantage of that. Sometimes I'm sure he doesn't appreciate that much, but he's been great and kind of helping me along and giving me shots to make plays too, which got to make him right when he does.
Is there something that kind of sets him apart from past quarterbacks you've played with?
Yeah, his ability just to the explosiveness. I think bottom line is with his arm and his legs is different than kind of what I've been around. I've been around some really, really good quarterbacks back at Duke my last 4 years. But the difference kind of with him is the combination of his legs and his arm. He can scramble and get out of the pocket, and next thing you know, he's 20, 25 yards down the field, and at the snap of a finger, that stuff happens. That's kind of what sets him apart. He can make good plays with his arms, but then you look away for a second, and he's got a 30-yard scramble.
Been here for a couple months now. Now you're in the Pacific chasing dolphins and everything.
Yeah.
How are you liking the LA SoCal lifestyle so far?
Yeah, I think LA's took some getting used to, just how big and there's a whole lot of people here. But it's been awesome so far. There's always something to do. Right now, not really having to worry about that in the month of August. These next 3 weeks, not really having to worry about that. But you got the beach right there. You got downtown. Santa Monica is a great spot. So I've been having a lot of fun. Hanging out with these guys, especially. But there's never a dull moment in LA. And that's been good.
A lot of teammates from LA and from California. They kind of help show you the ropes a little bit.
Yeah, show you the ropes, show you the spots. Those guys have definitely helped out a little bit in the transition for sure.
You kind of divided the fan base with your comments on in and out. Have you found anything else that has satisfied you? Anything closer to home?
Listen, I'm not going to say I take back those comments. I have a different appreciation for In and Out. I have a couple guys on the team that taking me down there a bunch of times, give me a hard time. It's a good burger. It's a solid burger. It's just when you compare it to some other restaurant. Anyway, I think Fat Sal's down there is a great spot. Angry Moon's down there is a great spot. You got classic Chipotle down there on Westwood Boulevard. There's a plethora of options down there, and downtown Westwood, which has been great.
So no NIL deal from In-N-Out.
No, I don't blame him either after that last episode. I don't blame him.
Is there a burger place in Durham or in Boston that you like more than In-N-Out? What are you measuring it against?
The cookout scene in it's a restaurant called Cookout. Have you ever Cam Brown shaking his head over there?
I've had it.
Cookout's a good
Yeah.
spot. Kind of measuring up against In-N-Out. Say what you will.
You talked about being able to text anytime. Have you sent any like late night texts or?
Like you up text? Any of those? No, I tend to stay away from those. No, but I mean, I'm sure if I did, he'd be open to it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.